How can you move on after suffering a lot of stress? Well, Ganga, the divine sacred river flowing in front of us, gives us such a perfect model for this. As you know, I assume most of you know, we're very, very active in the Ganga cleanup programs and Protect Ganga programs. And one of the things that we always remind people of is that actually all we have to stop doing is putting more pollution in. Because every year when the monsoons come, Ganga cleans herself. She's this model of forgiveness, this model of moving on, no matter what we dump in her, no matter how disrespectful and horrible we are to her. Every year the rains come and it's all clean. And if we just could stop dumping more things in her, Ganga would actually be clean. And it's the same model for when we talk about how do you move on after suffering a lot of stress. The same way Ganga does. If we stop putting more stress into our lives, then the minute that we're able to have a deep breath, the minute we're able to connect, the minute that monsoon rain is able to happen in our lives, the minute that we're able to be in an inner situation that may be connected to an outer situation as well, and it may not. Our outer situation may stay the same and only the inner has changed. But we have that experience of the flow of that new river, the flow of that new life, the flow of that awareness, the flow of love, the flow of connection. It's what we get when we meditate. It's what we get, many of us in the Arati. It's what we get by the grace of a guru. It's what we get when we experience love. And the minute that that happens, it literally, like Ganga, washes all the junk away. It's just important not to redump it. So don't hold on to that which has happened before. Oh my God, that was so stressful. How am I going to move on? Well, the sheer fact that the stress was in the past tense, that I say that was so stressful, means it's over. Whether it's from 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago or 50 years ago. In all cases, it's in the past. And we look at Ganga, whether you dumped something in her 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago or 50 years ago, it is gone from this moment. From where I am, it's gone. If it was only 5 minutes ago, it's somewhere closer to me downstream, but it's not here. It's not in my experience of Ganga. And in the same way in our lives, when something has happened, the question is, how can I, allowing it to flow, so that in this moment I'm able to be new? Sure, there are things that happen that we have to respond to and deal with and address and solve and whatnot. But that's logistic. From a spiritual perspective, it's about how can I be new in this moment? Okay, that happened. But in this moment, it's not happening. In this moment, I have the opportunity to experience stillness. I have the opportunity to experience peace. I have the opportunity to experience grace. The fact that at some point in the past there was stress does not have to be part of my reality right now. Now again, I've simplified it for most of us. There are, of course, situations in which the stress of the past was painful, was traumatic enough, was big enough, impactful enough, that it has changed us in some way. That it has created sanskaras or energetic or neuronal patterns that we have to then address. But that's what our spiritual practice is for. It's what our psychological practice is for. But in no case do we have to bring the stress of the past into this moment. I may have to work with creating a new neuronal network, a new pattern, a new sanskara. But what's most important is not to bring that stress into this moment. And I have the power to do that because it isn't here. And if I find it here, it's because I have grabbed it out of the past and brought it here, which of course we do because we want to hold on. But that's a different question, a different situation. For this one, remember it's of the past. Remind yourself that the present moment does not have that stress. That regardless of how bad the past was, it is not happening in this moment. And I have the opportunity, the invitation to live in this moment, not in that one. And again, yeah, I may have to deal with some things from that moment, psychologically, logistically, but I don't have to live in it. My life should be in this moment. And a lot of the beautiful rituals that we're able to do, whether it's yagna, whether it's offering something to Ganga, whatever it is, forgiveness, is literally the equivalent of the monsoon season coming. That cleans it all out of us. And then with our spiritual practice, with our dedication, with our commitment, with our vows, we don't bring that back into our life. So that the river of our life can flow freely and cleanly and purely within us.